Hello, Mikel. I was just going to take you back to Aubameyang, please, if I may. I mean, it's a positive drought when he doesn't score for 5 Premier League games, isn't it? But he's such an infectious character. He's got such a pedigree. How do you reinstall that kind of confidence back into such a prolific goal scorer to get you back scoring?
Well, if you're asking me about any other player, probably I would say that we have to do a lot of work with his confidence. With Auba, I don't think it's a case of that. Again, from our side, we have to give him more opportunities, more shots, put him in better positions, try to accumulate more players around him to create a better situation for him. And he needs to step in as well. And when that happens, and he has the right opportunity, and in these games, you're not going to have 10 playing against those blocks. He needs to make it happen like he did a week ago in the Europa League. You know, he's so used to that. That seems to pay a lot of attention for him as well. That's why sometimes we have to change in positions because every team is going to be preparing things to stop him. And we have to bear that in mind. So we have to distract the opponent as well with other position, with other movement, with other relationships in the pitch to try to accommodate him without, losing him in the position that he's clinical.
You've been very adaptable. He's been, you've praised his adaptability within the systems, within the different formations. Is there a temptation to put him back through the middle on an opportunity to kind of?
I think that's a very possible thing, and it would depend on the games. It would depend on who is around it with. I think it's very, very important to see who is around him and why we're doing it. Not just the fact by doing it, why we are doing that, and what we can get by doing that, the positive things to that. But of course, is a very strong possibility to play him as a 9, of course.
Thanks, Mikel.
Thank you.
Finally, Stan from Telegraph.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
You mentioned a bit earlier the centre-back situation. It seems quite crazy that you've got 8 in the squad, 1 out on loan, and yet you've only got 2, I think, that are available. You must feel like the unluckiest manager on earth.
Well, I don't think so. I feel really lucky to be where I'm sitting right now, but this can happen. And sometimes if you have 10, maybe we would have been in the same position. I feel really bad, for example, with William Saliba, because we decided, because we had so many, to leave him out of the squad, which it was really hurtful for me to do. Hoping that Pablo as well was back in 2 weeks, but he had a setback, and then we don't have Pablo and we don't have William, that he's fit and available to play. But when you make those decisions, sometimes we cannot think about every possible outcome here.
What do you put it down to, if anything? Is it to do with the fixture pile-up? Is it to do with 5 subs or 3 subs, or is it just bad luck?
Well, I think there are different cases. Mostly we are carrying that injury from last year. With Callum, it's exactly the same situation. Back with Pablo, exactly the same situation. It was a surgery in his ankle. With David, he rarely gets injured. We don't think it's a big thing, but it's something to keep for a few weeks. And Rob is the same case. But I think with Rob, if anything, is the amount of minutes that he has already played. Well, in the last 9 or 12 months, he hasn't played, but he has to step in because we didn't have as well many solutions there. So I think it's a combination of factors.
Obviously, you mentioned William can't play tomorrow, but he obviously could be available on Sunday. Are you seeing the sort of progress in training that you might have expected, or maybe a bit early on?
Yeah, he is much better. I think he's in a much better play. He's feeling more confident around the place as well. His language is improving. He's starting to understand much better what we're doing physically. He's played a few games with under 23s as well, which he needed because he didn't play any football in the last 7 or 8 months. So I think things are progressively getting better and better.
And just lastly for me, just going back to the Leicester game briefly, when you have a difficulty like you did in the second half, is your mindset to think of a plan B or to go away and make plan A better?
No, we need a plan B and C. And I always have the plan B ready. As you could see, the way we end up playing with 3 very narrow strikers at the end is how do you interpret it after those situations to where you want to take the ball first to generate some advantages for those players. I think the game management in the last 8-10 minutes wasn't good enough. We gave 6-7 free kicks away, too many throw-ins away. We could not attack with the right intention, but it's something again that it needs more training and improving. And even though sometimes you do that, teams they are good at killing the game off, and this is what they did.
Just one, obviously, we've talked a lot about the fixture schedule this season. It's obviously more congested than ever. Is it possible this season to fight for both the top four in the league and the Europa League?
Well, we're going to try for sure to do that. And at the moment, we have the squad to try to achieve that. What is going to happen in 6 weeks or 6 months, we don't know. And how the players are going to assimilate all the minutes in their legs and how they're going to respond to that, I think is a big question mark for all the managers and all the club. But starting the season, for sure, this is our aim.
You often talk with defence about how it's the whole team that needs to work to defend. Is it the same with attack? Because everyone looks at Aubameyang, Lacazette and say that they need to get the goals, but is it not the case that it's a collective and it's the whole side who need to do it?
Absolutely. And when you face a low block like Leicester did when they play 5-4-1 and the striker comes with a holding midfielder, if you don't utilize the two central defenders, you are playing 8 against 10 the whole game. And that's a really difficult game to play. So they have to step in, they need to know which spaces to attack, which player they have to commit, which player they have to provoke, the areas that we have to try to provoke as well, and they become crucial there, and it's something that we haven't had time to do, we haven't really faced, and we have to start training. But again, I go back, it's a really good sign that teams come here, a big team like Leicester, they done what they've done, and they sit and say, we want to be here. So we will work on that, we will improve on that, and we will give much more to our strikers that they can finish games off.
Thanks, Mikel.